Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. We had a long break watching Haunting of Hill House and like anything at all. I had a lot of headaches and just I couldn't film, I'm sorry. But now, as usual, by the end of the month, I want to finish episodes 8, 9, and 10, and we are on the 8th episode now. I'm a bit scared now going into this, not because the series are very scary, but because they're very sad. A lot of like bad things for the characters happen, and I think that's what kind of scares me in a way. But let's see what happens in episode 8. Let's go. Alright, let's see. Because I was told that episodes like 9 and 10 are going to be the hardest. Well, it makes sense at the end of like the season or the series. I'm not sure. But overall, I feel like they've been picking up. I believe I remember pretty well all the events, and we basically, I remember we ended the last episode on that moment in the flashback where the dead Hugh, he was just going to the red room, and it was finally open. Because remember, in the beginning I was saying like, oh, maybe it will all start when they finally managed to open the red room, but I was so wrong that it was actually the last thing to happen. It probably was the culmination, obviously, for like the worst of it, the brunt of it, like they say, but it happened like in the very end. And so I feel like in a way the series have been really building up for like what is in that red room, and like what happened on the last night. Okay. 1 month ago. But now they are broken up, so it's very fresh, right? So they couldn't get any kids. Might have been one of the things that kind of broke them apart. He's listening. He, yeah. What about masturbation? Dude. It's completely normal, by the way. Is he having something paranormal? No. What? I can't tell the face. Or it's just like someone standing there. Because he said he didn't really experience many. Well, I guess that wasn't terribly like anything. Just some person you can't really. Looked like someone from his family, but I wasn't sure. Right. Ah! That's what it was. I'm sorry. like figure it out last episode. It was the forever house. Ah. He could die from like overdose, right? Is it? Because they are not gonna believe us. Yeah, that kind of monster destroyed the and I feel like the Hill House kind of has a grudge against the Dream Forever house. It's like I'm your forever house, so there's no other. Okay, that's after he damaged his hand. Well, that's important task. So she was going to go just in a few days. And about the last day, he said he thought she left for Aunt Janet. So it's not their last day yet. It's going to happen in a few days. Mom? Is she talking to some ghost of a kid? Did I say it right? Of she thought she was talking to her kids? Okay. Oh, this is pretty. This is like, I don't know how it's in English, like a toilet table. Overdose, right? Well, I mean, yeah, if he knows like some places he could visit them, that's not unreasonable, I think. It's, I guess she felt like he isn't being present in the marriage. Yeah, if it wasn't for that house. That's good description. Yeah, he wants to say they balanced each other well. That's fair. That's always good. I don't know. I feel like they were really good pair and good parents. Did you? I mean, that happens. You aren't going to have like no fights at all. I don't think that's possible. Okay. Because like that happens, disagreements and stuff. They just had a big fight. But not as big, I guess. When you're trying to understand each other and find a solution together. Yeah. Yeah, I get what he's saying. That's really nice. I think nothing is perfect. Yeah, and I mean, as long as you both want to, like find a solution together, right? He's trying so hard with his kids. I mean, that's cute, isn't it? He's like, I have this opportunity um, to give some advice. That's present again, right? Yeah, I suppose. That's how it works. Interesting. Yeah, I think if it was just the money, it would be different. She would still be mad, of course. But something happened with Theo as well, which was still confusing. Wasn't really explained, and so that became too much. Maybe it's not candy takers. Maybe it's what, you just open it right away. Are people crazy in that? They must be living very safe life. Don't you like look out who's there, then unlock the door like a normal person? Okay, this must be something paranormal, I suppose. And why did she have candy if she said she doesn't want to handle it? I mean, it is his son. Of course, he's worried. Yeah, I mean, guys, come on. So he thinks. If he thinks he's. Yeah, he blames his dad. That's why he's so cold to him. Oh, that's how. Trilhage. I don't know how it's called in English. Was she? William is the one that buried himself in a wall. She says it kind of with admiration, you know? Like with passion. That's sweet. I mean, I said it a million times. I feel like if it wasn't like this paranormal shit in the house, this family would be really like nice, happy family, you know? I feel like they all are pretty good people and doing their best, right? He wanted to do a surprise for his mom. That's really sweet. Are you going to check? They do have the peephole, it's called, right? And I would know how it's called, so they must have it. She doesn't. Well, she could look in the window. She has a window instead of a peephole, I suppose. She thinks it's just pranks. She has some rise of paranormal activity. I guess it's Helen, right? It makes sense. But she wasn't knocking, she was just coming up. Okay, maybe now she'll explain what happened. What happened? She hit you in your chest? It was an accident, but then she decided to own it. That's that paranormal knocking again. Wait, they closed it to pound at it again? What are these ghosts thinking? What's the point? Was it also when they were in the room alone? Remember when they were little in the house? There was also huge pounding, and then Dad said it's like the radiators or pipes or something. Who's that? Oh. To the house? Yeah, kids can't do that. Okay, if you think you have a problem too, are you getting treatment? I didn't notice that. If he didn't want, why did they try for kids? What? Well, it's. I think if you don't want to, you don't have to. Ah, I know, it's like a sterilization. Wait, he didn't tell his wife. It happened so long ago and he just didn't tell her? He just made her like try for it without like her even knowing it's not. That's so fuck. I understand why she's mad if she like learned about it and was like, what the fuck? Why didn't you tell me? Like, what the fuck? Like. I mean, you could do some other stuff, I think. Like. Just say I don't want kids. Gosh, these people. And like saying, yeah, in the beginning of the relationship, so both people know what they're getting into. What a dick. Well, he doesn't even feel guilty that he kind of kept quiet about it. I want to tell he's very lucky he can just do it like out of college. Believe for women it's not that easy. I researched that you have to be like very like older or already have kids or something for sterilization. Oh, he gave his gift. Upset? He added photos of her kids. That's so sweet. Did she see something in the mirror? He wants to burn the house. That's what you would think, right? Why would he need like more? Either would he wants to go very very long, like far away, or he wants to. At least that's how they burn things in the movies. I'm not a professional. Yeah, that's a good idea. The oven? the. Because he doesn't believe it? What do you mean? There wasn't any man repairing the clock, it was a ghost? Oh, so he saw a ghost and he didn't realize. That's funny. Mm-hmm. It didn't exist. Maybe it existed before. So it was there already? Uh-huh. How did they get into something that wasn't there? Ghost of the tree house? That's exciting. Like, he met with paranormal stuff, he just didn't see it as paranormal. You know, like he didn't notice it. That's super funny. Oh, they are not keeping away. Okay. So now they're all going to the house. Okay. Well, she already told everything. Ah, about that. Yeah, she made a pass on her husband without even realizing it's him. As like she explained it. That girl was there? Could she really mistake him for that girl? Dude! She was done with them arguing. She was like, shut up. Oh gosh. I'm glad I took a flush. Under the table too. So, did she see like the ghosts in it too? Nothing? That she was so shocked? That's not what I would expect from the reaction she had. Is this because her soul was taken by the house? That's very dramatic monologue. I liked it. So she just grabbed for the first person she saw because. Did it? So she, by feeling nothing, she also meant like no emotions too? She's like, okay, half forgiven. Maybe I'm like, we'll take that for now. And yeah, it seems like her husband here really is not in the wrong at all from how it was described. Yeah, because it makes sense because there was no like chemistry or interest between them, so it felt out of place. So that explanation is fitting. Oh, look, he's mad at the house for taking the life of his twin sister, so he wants to take revenge and burn it, and also the life of his mom too. Oh, the house is waking up. Like, when Nell came, it woke up as well. She got the, like, the dream right away, though. Maybe the house would make him burn or something. That's why it's not using the dream yet. Or maybe it depends on how, like, susceptible you are to it. Well, for all of its worth, I think he has a good idea. I was talking about destroying the house before. Wow. Does it have protective spells on it? Why didn't it fucking work? Whoa. It's using mom to kinda present itself, I feel like, right? It's like it is the house, but since it uses the image of mom, oh gosh, it's easier to manipulate the family. Oh, good. This episode was so quick. It was very. I'm sorry. I know I was talking a lot, but first of all, I'm less like nervous and scared when I talk more because, like, it's easier. And also there were a lot of things happening, so that was pretty interesting. And yeah, the house is like it has several ghosts at its disposal that it can use, I suppose. It's maybe I feel like it would be explained. I'm just trying to understand. Is like all the ghosts that we see in the house, they are not harmless. They are souls bound to the house, and the house can use them however it wants. but also, like, is there, for example, mom, right? She is with dad, she talks to dad, and I feel like that's real in a sense, right? That's really her ghost, and that's normal her, not affected by the house. But there's also this image of her that house uses. So I'm like thinking how it is with the others. If Nell's soul was eaten by the house, but then we saw her at the funeral with her neck bent, and she was calling out to dad, and then she also tried, I feel like, to warn what it was, to warn Luke, I think, when he was like near the grave, right? So it felt like it's normal Nell and not an image used by the house. Though then again we have this problem, okay, if her soul is okay somewhere, why there's nothingness when you touch her body, like it's so detached? Or another question, why mom's normal soul looks completely fine, right? No damages, normal clothes, but Nell's, what seemed to be her true soul, looked just like at the moment of her death, just like the bent neck lady. That's confusing. Like, I feel like there are some discrepancies maybe in it, that maybe will be explained. I'm not saying like these are plot holes or something. I'm just saying that I don't quite understand the pattern that we have here. That's what I was trying to say. But also that, yeah, that was a very interesting episode. I feel like I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Also, I had a break, maybe I can rest it a little, right? Now going back into it, I feel a bit happier, maybe in a good mood today. So it went down really well, really fast. I feel like I really liked the monologue that Theo did, and I said before that I really like this actress, in particular her acting, and I felt like she delivered it really well, really emotional, and it felt like she really means every word, so I really enjoyed that. Maybe I didn't quite understand like everything, but pretty much I get the point of what she's saying and what happened, and it seems to explain everything well. So in terms, like, a few more things. So Cheryl and her husband, I feel like there's still a problem because of the money, because he took the money that she didn't want to take, and that went against her morals, so they still have an issue here. And then another thing is Steve with his they call it like Lee, I think they pronounced her name Lee. When I see the subtitles I want to say something like Leia, but I think Lee, she wanted kids and they were like trying for kids, and first of all she maybe felt like he isn't really present in the conversation because he was so distracted, as we saw in the office. But then it turns out it's even worse, because, like, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with it if you don't want to have children. Like, you don't have to. It's not like every person on earth is obliged to do it. I feel like if you feel like you can't do it, you don't want to do it, you're not up for it, etc., etc., maybe you feel like your family has some illnesses that you don't want to pass on, and that's the decision you made for yourself. That's completely fine, and like, I'm totally on board with this. In my opinion, it's even better than having kids without actually being ready for it, but that's like another conversation. The problem here is that he didn't tell his wife about it. His reasoning was like, well, I didn't want to separate with her, so I thought, okay, like, if I tell her I don't want kids, she would be like, okay, but I do, so I think I'll find someone else I can build a family with, and she would leave me, and I didn't want that. And that is really shitty of him. That is really shitty, because I feel like on the both sides, if one person wants kids and the other doesn't, don't tell them that, okay, like, I'm okay with that, when you really do want them, and then later down the line you will build up that resentment and you will be unhappy, and so like from both sides it wouldn't work, right? One person expecting the other to change his mind or her mind, right, and the other way around. It's just obvious recipe for disaster, I feel like. And the most like worst part about it, that she didn't know like forever. They were trying for it, and he was like, yeah, we are trying for it, and of course nothing was working because he couldn't, right? It wasn't technically possible, and she didn't know. Like, dude, just be honest about it. Just tell her. That is so. Just. I'm like, Steve did so many things throughout these episodes, and I'm like, well, okay, happens, whatever. But this one made me mad. I'm like, you fucking liar. I hate it when people lie. So that was quite horrible. Okay, I think these are the main points. And we got more lore on the residents. Like the ghost that how to say it, grabbed Luke in the end from behind. It was one of the older ghosts. Was it of the woman that owned the mirror? I said Trilyaj, by the way, I didn't explain it. It's like a table with 3 mirrors. So the table itself we call туалетный столик. So toilet table, toilet in that meaning not go into the toilet, but to change your clothes or your like makeup, stuff like that, I think it has that meaning in English too. So that the table for like this kind of thing, like your hair, your makeup, stuff like that, right? Your skin, and the table with 3 mirrors. It's called Trilyaj, and I think that's very interesting because from the word like three, and because I feel like these mirrors, they have something special about it because for me, it's first of all, it's like vintage, it's really cool, right? But also I feel like there's something magical about it, and because there's 3 mirrors, and so I was a bit also excited about this object in terms of like what paranormal stuff can happen with it. Well, nothing too special happened, to be honest. We didn't even see what mom saw in there, but the woman who owned this table, I have to go back and write down her name because I forgot it. Was it her in there? And I feel like on the photo she looked a little bit different. Her hairstyle was different. So maybe it's a ghost of another person. Okay, I think we'll end it here for today. So please share your thoughts in the comments down below without spoilers, of course. Thank you for watching and see ya.